Maybe I can go for like a decent rank on Europe too. I don't know. Metallic. Nice name.
None can escape my fury.
Squire is good enough. I'm top 50 and I spent the last 8 hours grinding out of Asia Dumpster. Went from 4k to 800. Yeah, ladder is a lot about just grinding out games. Just play. I'm at good ranks on 2 servers, but again, I care more about playoffs than about good ranks. I'm stuck at rank 1, any tips? Play more. If you're rank 1, you should be legend soon. Do you have any LHS lineup advice? No, I don't think of LHS yet. LHS requires like special thinking. Wait, do we dagger that? I guess.
Justice is mine. I fight.
And just go fledgling and then Squire Blood Knight seems good. Like I cannot give you an LHS lineup instantly. You have to put in the time and like figure out what works. It requires a lot of time to find a good lineup. Donation. Thank you very much, Metallic. $2. Let me win, please. Lol. Nice meme. Any tips for Conquest format tournaments in this meta? Copy my lineup. I don't know. Just do what works well for you. I feel like some form of full aggro lineup is the best in this meta in Conquest. It seems like one of the best metas to go full aggro. Or free aggro plus druid. Mali druid is super good. The last days I noticed OTK Priest is back on the board. What are your thoughts? No. I don't feel like OTK Priest is a thing. At least not right now. Do you think full aggro is best? What a surprise. Bro, I didn't bring aggro in like a year. Hello? Why do people consider me an aggro player? I didn't play aggro for like a year. I only play aggro when it's good. Like, you can consider me a meta slave, because I only play what's good. But, I don't know. If aggro is not good, I'm not gonna like bring aggro. I only bring it when I think it's good.
Justice is mine.
Right now I just think aggro is like the best it's been in a lot of time. Last tournament. Last tournament was Seed Story Cup for me. And I didn't bring aggro. I brought like Quest Rogue. Like I had Token Druid I think, but that's not really aggro. Is it? Guys, stop king shaming Radu. If playing aggro turns him on, that's fine. No, winning turns me on. So I wanna play good decks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for playing good decks, okay? But on a serious note, like I don't know why people shame others for like playing specific decks. In a tournament you should just play what you think is best. Why Crystallizer? I just want a third Dire Maul. After playing this deck a lot in playtesting, we felt the need that third Dire Maul is what we want.
Stop copying me! Stop copying me! In the light's name.
Someone called for the
No! He's not lethal with Leroy. Wait, was it with the side? I didn't calculate it. No, it's 17. Saved.
This guy's toast.
Justice is mine.
This is fine. I spent all day playing Zone and started to think you should cut Doomguards for gigglings. What? No. Doomguards are great. Why would you want to play gigglings in Zoo?
You asked for it. None can escape my fury.
I won't keep Valspine. Is Biology Project bad just because of other druids, or is it just bad? It's bad if you care about your opponent. Like, almost every single deck can do something that is punishing with that mana. So, the only deck where Biology Project seems good is Oakheart Druid, and even there it's played as a one-off. Oakheart Druid just doesn't care about opponent. You just ramp player Oakheart and then you don't care. But most druids care about their opponents. That's why they cannot play biology. It's like,
Can I light your fire?
it's like naturalized kind of. Gambler, thank you for the 1 year. Thank you very much, Gambler.
We have many secrets.
Do I test? Kappa 1 to 3. So Crystallizer first.
Flesh fails. Try crystal. Justice is mine.
This looks good. Is Mukla good in this deck? If it would be good, I would play it. It's not good to give your opponent bananas in this meta. It's very dangerous.
What to do? What to do?
Why no Myras in your rogue? I feel like very rarely I want to use Myras. It's like the perfect definition of win more. And that's just not what I want to do with my deck. I might, by the way, poison here. Keep this guy alive on 2 health.
Justice is mine.
It's not easy for Mage to deal too. I mean, he can go Cinderstorm and even like kill my entire board, but if he doesn't have his Cinderstorm, then this is really good. Basically, I want to maximize chances of getting a good fungal. Oh shit. That's disgusting. I don't want to play Skillbane now because this guy's gonna wreck me.
Justice is mine.
Do I risk it? Sure, I can miss 1 damage. But I wanna like go for the chance of like the high roll.
Justice is mine.
Sure, yeah, I could hit it twice and then I would miss 1 damage, but I don't want to tank 4 against Mage. That's dangerous as heck.
We have many.
Why is Innervate not good anymore? You just have better options. That's why Innervate is not played. I wouldn't say that it's not good. It's just not played.
Is mine.
Any sub for Luna? Play second AI. Pfah. Oh, he plays 2 of them. Should he even play the second one?
Justice is mine.
Just don't die, lol. I can beat him in 2 turns if he doesn't kill this. I can at least buy more time. In most situations too. Please don't tell me he has a 1 mana spell to combine this with, okay. Sick.
Justice is mine.
I won't have lethal with the way the buff hit. Even if it hit on fungal, he could just ping and deny lethal. Mage feels very good at the moment. Yeah, in my testing it was insane. And it's ridiculous how few people brought Mage. I feel like Mage is top tier, but so few people brought it. Do we ever just ignore that and go face?
I will silence their screams.
Eh.
An incredible discovery.
Okay, he has both secrets, at least now I know. Now I possess the information. I feel like if I play Blink Fox, we go Squire Fungal and trade.
I wonder. The light protects me. Justice is mine.
I'll keep this to activate counter spell if I do like poison. The play I made last turn was not to lose, I should have gone face. I don't know. I still feel I'm in a good spot. I don't like to fireball, so I'm in a good spot.
Justice is mine.
I die only to combinations of 2 cards. I'm gonna get new emotes soon, Yangsa. I already talked and they'll be ready soon. Soon-ish. I'll have new emotes in like 1 week.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Well played.
Wow, how does he know?
I fight.
Time's up. Let's do this.
Justice is mine.
Is it possible to play aggro mage without Alonet but with Luna? I feel like the deck is gonna be weaker without Alonet, but you can play with second AI. Shouldn't be that much weaker, just weaker. Don't you usually pick decks as a team and bring the same lineup? This time Ty's brought a different lineup than you. No, we don't blindly bring the same lineup. Like, I will not bring a lineup that I don't think is good. Sure, it's very likely that you and your practice group just come to the same conclusions, but it's not always the case. Sometimes you disagree on tech cards, but agree on the decks based on the practice. Sometimes you just disagree on the decks. because you expect different meta representations. I remember when I practiced with Neria for Shanghai, for ACT, we brought 2 different lineups, but we both felt the other guy's lineup is good if the meta is how they think it will be. We just disagreed on how we thought the meta is gonna be. Like here, I think Tice's lineup is not good because I think he underestimates how many people are gonna bring Quest Rogue. There's even more Quest Rogues than I expected, and I brought aggro lineup to counter Quest Rogues. So I think my lineup is like really good. And in this field, Tice's lineup might struggle a bit. But yeah, just because some people practice together doesn't mean that they will bring the same exact lineup. But he bans Quest Rogue. When I mean Quest Rogue lineups, I don't mean you lose to Quest Rogue. Because like Quest Rogue doesn't come alone. It comes with like Dev Rattle Hunter and 2 other decks that just 3-0 your warrior. That's why I feel like Odd Warrior was a very sketchy pick. The same way I felt Quest Rogue was a very sketchy pick. But Quest Rogue is even less sketchy than Warrior. Because Quest Rogue has a chance to win versus aggro. I don't think Warrior has a chance to beat like Hunter, Quest Rogue, Shadowwalk, and like Togwaggle Druid. Like, how do you beat those matchups? It's such a bad situation for you. Have you seen any great lineups except yours? Great lineups. I don't know, I feel like I liked Maverick's lineup a lot. But other than Maverick's lineup, I don't feel like any other lineup was like better build than the one that I bring. But obviously, I am biased because I brought the lineup which I concluded is the best after practicing and theory crafting. So obviously, I'm gonna think he's like the best lineup. But I really like Maverick's approach. It's more risky what he brought because I expected more control or even warlocks, and then you just get wrecked by those if you bring what he brought. But with what people brought, his lineup is better than mine. When is the tournament? In the weekend. Where can you see all the lineups? Right now they're only on Twitter, but they'll probably like make a post or something, or email them to people. Maverick brought 4 aggro decks. I don't know why you're laughing. Like 4 aggro or 3 aggro plus druid is the way to go in this meta. Just because other lineups get punished too much. You bring control with Odd Warrior, Quest Rogue type of lineups are gonna destroy your warrior. And then it's very hard to find 3 decks that even work with Warrior. Because Warrior is really good against aggro, but there's not other control decks that work with Warrior that are really good. Quest Rogue lineups is the other alternative, but I think those are too weak to aggro. So the only option is to play aggro. And you're gonna say, what if everybody brings aggro? Shouldn't you just play anti-aggro then? There's not really a great way to make your anti-aggro lineup. Like, yeah, Warrior is good. You're gonna beat aggros with Warrior, but it's gonna get banned most of the time. What else is good against aggro? Nothing really. Leeching Poison lol. Might actually be decent. There aren't even 4 really good decks against aggro right now. Exactly. And I expected there to be a good amount of people who don't expect Tempo Mage and just go like, okay, what are the bad matchups of Quest Rogue, like really bad ones? Rogue and Zoo and Tempo Mage, but let's assume they don't expect Tempo Mage. If people don't expect Tempo Mage, then you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna be like, okay, we bring Quest Rogue and we ban either Zoo or Odd Rogue, lose to the other, but then have 2 decent matchups. Because against Token Druid, you're like Fleep, and against Paladin, you're probably like slightly unfavored Fleep. Like, your only terrible matchups for Quest Rogue are Odd Rogue, Zoo, Tempo Mage. That's why I brought Odd Rogue, Zoo, Tempo Mage to punish Quest Rogues. So basically, I expected people to not be able to bring anti-control without getting really punished. Oh shit. Talking about punishments. That's harsh.
Who goes there?
This is the point of no return.
Justice is mine.
Full face, no space.
Justice is mine.
Maybe I should just leech him.
Can I light your fire?
Justice is mine.
Shadowy! Thank you for the 10 months. Thank you very much, Shadowy. And yeah, you got your heart emote. And I'll have even some other new emotes coming soon. For all the subscribers of this channel. Can't you bring Control and ban Quest Rogue? No, because people that bring Quest Rogue don't only bring Quest Rogue. You can actually build a good 4-deck anti-control lineup. It's very easy, no, not very easy, but you bring Quest Rogue, you bring Death Rattle Hunter, you bring Shadow Rock Shaman and Togwaggle Druid. This lineup just 4-0s Odd Warrior. It 4-0s Control Priest. It 4-0s Control decks. So you can actually bring a 4-deck lineup that just 3-0s Control decks. You cannot bring a 4-deck lineup that 3-0s aggro consistently. So then aggro is the best. But if you expect aggro to be so good, then control should be really good too. But it's not. So then aggro is the best. So then you build aggro to beat other aggros. But then you should play Odd Poly and maybe Token Druid. But then you're like actually weak to control. So I brought like the safe aggro while still taking for the mirror matches of aggro without having to bring Odd Poly and a Token Druid, because then I felt like I leave myself open to getting freed by control lineups. So it's a very weird meta game. Quite unique, I would say. So you couldn't use like past experiences to predict like how it's gonna be. Yes, Shadowy, I did. I wouldn't steal it. I mean, not for the heart one, for like other emotes. I talked with Linz. She did like great emotes. Oh, the heart one. Like, I already asked for the heart one and she told me that she already did a heart one. So that one, I had it instantly available. But I'm gonna get like I'm gonna get an RDU this is fine emote since I use that sentence a lot. And I'm also gonna get which one? You guys will see. Surprise.
None can escape my fury.
I didn't know I had this emote 5 months ago. Because I didn't check my Discord, sorry. I really need to check my Discord more often.
None will survive.
But yeah, guys, I'm working on getting new emotes. But yeah, back to playoffs. I'm really curious to see like what's gonna be like played in the next playoffs.
The light protects.
Because aggro is like way too good. There's no reliable way to counter aggro, so what the heck do you do?
Flesh fades.
Let's play this because like I cannot play it if I'm under 5 health. Lol. Why do you play Crystallizer? Because I like Dire Maul so much I want a third Dire Maul. That's pretty much it. Like in our practice we just figured out we want another Dire Maul. But we figured out that we want exactly this number of 1-drops. So we were like, okay, in the matchups that we want, what's the worst 1-drop? Deckhand. Cut it. We optimized the decks down to like the very last card. Like I'm super happy. And my meta prediction was close. Only thing I didn't manage to predict was these many token druids. That's the only thing I didn't manage to predict. Usually you dagger on 2, but if I dagger on 2, he just replies with free drop, and then I just cry. So I have to go double maul. This sucks. I feel like Token Druid is overrated though. It has like insane stats on HS replay. Because people don't know what they're playing against on ladder. Like the surprise factor basically gives the deck a lot of percentages. So if I play Fledgling, he's gonna take the aggro of this, but I don't want that. Actually, he might not even dagger on 4. Let's just blame Fox because maybe he ignores it. Like I want him to ignore my board so I can just point Valspine. This is useless. I'm actually happy with this. Okay, I'm not very happy, I'm okay. Does a mage get wrecked by other aggro lineups? It doesn't. If you play 2 Flame Geysers, you're okay against other aggros. I'm so happy that people didn't bring mage because they thought it's bad against other aggros, but it's not. Mage is my edge. Nobody brought it. It's really good. I trusted APX Void. Like, mage is the exact same deck it was before, but better. I want a dagger to get rid of these fireflies.
Think.
I lose if he has Valspine plus 1 up anyways. And no, I don't like the legendary spell in Odd Rogue. Why do you play Flame Geyser instead of Spell Shifter against aggros? Because Flame Geyser is a good card, Spell Shifter is not a good card. From my practice. Spell Shifter is like maybe slightly better than Talnos. Spell Shifter. I don't know. Like, I don't want my deck to only be good against other aggros. I feel like Flame Geyser right now in this deck, it's on par with Frostbolt. Like, if you ask me why do I play Flame Geyser, you might as well ask me why do I play Frostbolt. It's pretty much very the same card. It works with Luna. If you Geyser when you have Luna, your 1-2 gets put like the most right card, so you can draw a card from Luna. It's great with Mana Arm in the meta. Like, we have a meta game where 2 damage is like pretty much the same as 3 in most situations. It's really good with Cosmic Anomaly too. Gives you like extra reach, extra burn. RD, I don't like only one AI. Cool. If you don't like some of my cards, cool. Guys, I don't know, I played 20 hours of matchups. I like every single card I play in my decks. Like, the only thing I would change, with how many people brought Odd Paladin and Token Druid, I would probably play 1 Despicable in my zoo over Life Drinker. So, it's just about, do you trust my expertise or not? I feel like you don't need 2 AIs. Even Alunet. I don't think you always keep it right now. This deck has, I don't know, it's more beefy in a way. You don't run out of cards that often, as you did in the past. Like, in the last meta game, you would play 3 AIs if you could. Now even 1 AI feels sketchy. Like, I'm not even sure if I should play that 1 AI. Probably you should, but you're saying 2 AIs, I don't know. I think it's way too much. Because Luna is better than second AI. So you're implying you wanna play 2 AIs, Luna and Alonet? I'm sorry, that's too much. Do you enjoy playing aggro over controller combo? Not really. I like combo the most, but combo is just not good enough in the current meta. I wanna soulfire that, but let's soulfire first. Yeah, I'm happy discarding the doctor. You know what I like about aggro is if you just have good lists for the meta, you can learn most of the situations and nothing is like really unexpected. So basically I can learn the matchup by heart and then just brute force it at playoffs. Like learn every mulligan for every matchup, and like with combo decks you get into spots that you cannot practice for, so you have to like think on the spot. With aggro you can think on the spot for like most situations. APX said Alonet is a better keep now because the deck has much better comeback too. You almost always swing back. Okay. I felt differently during practice. I definitely respect APX opinion, but still. In practice it felt like you don't really need Alonet. But yeah, you have good comeback. Lucky Spawns, thank you for the sub. Thank you very much. Nice to have you here, thank you. Is Zurok a good deck? I don't play bad decks, so yeah, I think it's a good deck. I have one of the most important tournaments of the year. Every day that I bring I think is like top tier. See ya, John. Thank you very much for all the sub gifts. You shouldn't question APX's opinion. Man, I love how chat is. Like, there was a period, like 1 week ago, where people were telling me that like I just blindly copy other people's decks, and then I was like, no, I don't. I respect their opinion, and then I play a bit to see with the initial deck, but if I don't like something, I'll change it. Even if another player who plays a lot says that the deck is really good. Lothar, thank you for the host! Hi there, everybody! Thank you very much, Lothar. Don't know if you can say, but what are the reasons for choosing Zoo over Evenlock? I mean, it's totally different lineups. Like, in Conquest you have to pick decks that work well together. And I said this earlier too, but I can repeat it again. Basically, I felt like going anti-aggro is not good because there's gonna be some quest rogues and you just insta-lose to those. Going quest rogue is not good because there's gonna be a lot of aggro and you have a hard time or insta-lose almost to tempo mage lineups. So because going anti-aggro is risky and going quest rogue is risky, you can only go aggro. In my opinion, in this meta. And Evenlock doesn't fit in aggro lineup. Zoo does. Somebody link Google spreadsheets. What is that? Europe Hearthstone prelims lineups. But it's based on Twitter. It's 45 lineups. I saw all the Twitter lineups. I'm gonna wait for like the official release of all the deck lists.
Truth is found. For the wild.
Decks that feel broken are Tempo Mage, Quest Rogue, Dev Rattle, Hunter. I would say Druid is broken too. I love my Druid build. I think it's so good in like expected meta for playoffs. It's a battle of mid-range. Going Zoo is honestly pretty bad. Honestly, I think you're wrong. Like, do you play the tournament? How can how can you have a strong opinion about the tournament that you're not playing? I don't know. You cannot be involved enough to figure out what's good and what's not. Why do you get baited by obvious trolls? He's not an obvious troll, so I'm pretty sure he believes that way. And I want to make him understand that he's wrong. I feel like Zoo is not amazing against aggro, but it's good against Quest Rogue and against anti-aggro lineups. Also, you know like what is really weird sometimes? People see the lineups in hindsight. Obviously, once you see everybody's lineup, some decks would change. Like, yeah, if I knew exactly what everybody brings, maybe I would change some things in my decks. But you have to predict what others bring. You don't get shown all the opponent's lineups and you just like choose like the best lineup. I feel like Zoo is like a very good pick. It has insane high roll potential in bad matchups. Like, I don't think there's any matchup I have on Zoo worse than 40% that I'm gonna have to play.
We're gonna be
Like,
rich.
Warrior is probably under 40, but I ban Warrior. That's the only class I ban all the time.
I'm a big dumb move, but I love HS. I watch a lot of competitive streamers, and feel you have the best hypotheses, rationales, and explanations. It's always a pleasure to tune in.
Thank you very much, Anonymous. I appreciate the nice words. I'm sometimes, like, I feel like I make the mistake of being too convinced of my opinions. But then I'm also willing to change my opinions. Like, I'm getting fired up. I'm willing to protect Zoo with all the words I have at my disposal. And when somebody insults Zoo, I feel insulted myself. Or when somebody, like earlier, was trash talking my decision to bring Tempo Mage, I'm like, no! Tempo Mage is so good! People just don't see it. Maybe I don't see it, but I don't know. I'm glad that you like it. And at the end of the day, Hearthstone is a card game. We're supposed to just play it and have fun. So, I don't know. Is it bad if I care so much about about my lineup? I'm just being overly passionate. I hope you guys don't mind. I also hope you guys don't take it offensive. Like, if I say that I feel like you're super wrong in your opinion, I don't insult you as a person. I just think you're wrong. That's it. But some people might take it as an insult. I bring face. And more face. Have you seen that even Green Ship is bringing control lineup? Green Ship is bringing anti-Maligos Druid lineup. I think his lineup is garbage, according to the field. Like, he has 0% to beat any Quest Rogue lineup. But if I face him, it will be like a Clown Fiesta. Because he will have a good chance to free out my Druid. but there's very few Mali Druids. So his lineup is just bad in the grand scheme of things, because he targets a deck that very few people brought. But I don't know, Mali Druid is my one surprise. I expected way more Mali Druid than people brought it. I feel the deck is like solid, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but hopefully I'm not. Oh baby. Can we get lethal? Starfall and C-Tech one of the Sarnites is lethal. It's 50-50 actually, right? It's 50-50 lethal. Holy shit. Engaging! No! Okay. I guess it's win every time. LOL. You keep saying that some people lose to Questrog lineups, but there are some people that brought Questrog in full in non-full anti-control lineups. Okay, I say it that way because it's shorter. If I would have to say it, yeah, I mean, it's a grammar technicality. Come on, stop busting my balls. Sure. Control lineups lose to anti-control lineups. And yeah, some people brought Questrog in non-anti-control lineups, which I find weird. Like, I can understand going anti-control without playing Questrog because you're afraid of getting wrecked by aggros. If you play Questrog, I feel you should just commit and play anti-control all the way with Togwaggle and all the package. So I think it's like pretty stupid to bring Questrog and not bring full anti-control. I mean, not stupid, wrong. In my point of view. Why so few famous players play Questrog in their stream? Is it not fun for people to watch? I don't know. I would play Questrog on ladder, but I didn't submit Questrog for the tournament because I think it's bad in tournaments but good on ladder. And I don't know, I'm not responsible for what other streamers play. I don't know why you ask me. I'm not the spokesman of Twitch TV streamers on Hearthstone. Why don't I play Questrog? Because I didn't submit it. If I wouldn't play my tournament lineup, I would probably stream some Questrog, sure. I like the deck, I think it's very good on ladder. Hi, I love your stream today. It's very mean and offensive just the way I like it. I'm glad. I mean, it's not mean, come on. People are just way too snowflakey nowadays. And don't ask me about LHS, I didn't put in the time to figure out what's the best in last year's standing. I'm just trying to focus on my tournament in Conquest. Will you ever get out of the group stages of a tournament? What? Bro, check my results. Most tournaments are just Swiss anyways, not group stages. I love the random flame. Didn't he do well at Titanar? I do well in most tournaments that I play. The guy is just like insulting me for no reason.
What to do?
I'm really curious how I'm gonna do this weekend. But not result wise, just like how I play. Because I practice like more than like usual. Like, I took a break from streaming. Like, I value streaming so much, but I took a break from streaming just to prepare intensively for the playoffs. This is so hard. I need my ramp. I think we draw one. I think drawing one is fine here.
Job done.
You probably answered this, but what are you up to? I mean, pretty much just focusing on playoffs. Like, people thought that I took a vacation. I didn't stream like the last 4 days or something. Basically, I played like, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 hours per day, just intensively preparing for playoffs. And not only played, just also discussed. And I got really good practice in for a very important tournament that is coming up for me. Oh, we don't want to use Starfall. We don't want to waste it. So basically, I'll stream tomorrow too, and then Friday I leave for playoffs. Saturday, Sunday I play the playoffs, and I'm back Monday streaming. And I'll stream until like 20 the next month, almost every single day. And then I leave to China for Europe versus China. So basically September, I have 2 of the most important tournaments of the year for me. Playoffs and EU versus China. So it's basically the most important month, next month. So that's why I put so much time into playing. But I also want to stream quite a bit. Even though I have these 2 important tournaments, I want to also focus on streaming. What if you burn out? Right now I cannot burn out because I'm so motivated to do well in these tournaments. I feel like I cannot burn out. But if I would play as much as I played this month, every single month when I don't have tournaments, for example, I would burn out. I played way too much Hearthstone since the expansion was out. Way too much, like unhealthy amounts of Hearthstone. I don't recommend this to anybody. Unless you also have important tournaments coming up and you want to be at your best. Let me rephrase. I don't recommend anybody do this casually. On any game. You shouldn't play this many hours. Like, I've been playing Hearthstone more than I was for most of my awake hours since the expansion was out. I don't think I ever played in my entire career as much as I played this month. Also, this is the month where I streamed the most hours. Not really insane amount, like compared to other streamers. I streamed like 150 hours, I think, around that. Like, there are streamers that just 300 hours or something. I don't know how they can do that. But I don't know, when I stream, I also try to deliver good quality. And I'm sure other streamers do too, but if I feel like I'm tired or I'm out of energy, I would rather like stop the stream than like stream a couple more hours with like not talking at all. I want you guys to enjoy the stream a lot. I want you guys to like... to not watch me just because you have nothing better to watch. I want people to be like, wow, RD is streaming. Let's go watch that. What do you think is the best way to get into competitive scene? Playoffs. Just do well on ladder and qualify to playoffs. You can read more about the entire system on like Blizzard's website on Play Hearthstone esports section. Am I studying in school? No. I'm full-time professional Hearthstone player and streamer. I compete in tournaments and stream. Full-time. I mean, on average, I think I put like 7-8 hours per day in Hearthstone. And I sleep like 9 to 10 hours. I wouldn't really have time for like another job or anything. What do you prefer between Quest Rogue and Odd Rogue? On ladder, I like Quest Rogue more. In tournaments, I feel Odd Rogue is way better. Odd Rogue has like a great spread of matchups. Odd Rogue is great. Sleeping for 10 hours. I mean, I wish I could sleep less. I would sleep 0 if I could. If I could sleep 0 and feel good, I'll take it. Like, I don't enjoy the art form of art form. I don't enjoy just like sleeping for the sake of sleeping. I just need the sleep. Unfortunately. I'll sleep 0. If I could choose.
Thoughts are plagued.
Do I want to ramp? I want to get rid of cards.
And rot.
Is Control the best Priest deck? Control Priest beats some aggro decks. Topsy Priest beats some Control decks. Priest as a whole sucks. But if I have to choose between Control and Topsy, I think Topsy is the better deck. And Topsy is not good. As someone with a sleep disorder, I do not recommend not sleeping. Well, I mean, I said, yeah, not sleeping is obviously not good. I was saying, like, I wish I could sleep 0 and feel like as I slept a lot. How much longer will it be until humans hack sleeping and figure out the optimal way to do it? Do you work out? Yes. Lately I haven't been going to the gym that much, but I installed the pull-up bar and I also go for runs like 3-4 times per week. So I'm trying to keep myself in like decent shape. I also have a desk that can go up and down, so like when I stream for like longer hours, I alternate between standing and sitting. But I went for a pretty long run last night, so today I don't feel like standing. My legs hurt. And I don't want to push it. What the heck do I do here? Spreading Plague seems fine, but not amazing.
Death is eternal. My turn. A tangled web.
Are you expecting any Mecha Khotun deck? No. 0. The deck is garbage. Like, the only lineup that makes sense to bring is aggro. And you either choose to build your aggro to be good overall, like I did, or you make aggro to be good against aggro. It's a weird meta. Some people think in their head that Questrog is good, but it's just too weak against aggro. And some people think in their head that they can, they actually have a chance against anti-control lineups by playing control. But they don't. Or maybe I'm wrong! That's just my view on the meta.
We're gonna be rich.
Donation, thank you. Thank you, Pokey.
I'm ready to learn.
Sitting is the new smoking. Please stand up. Yeah, I'm sure like people throughout human history never sat down.
Is not.
I stand up enough, trust me. Do I want MC? I don't want MC. Maybe.
Engaging TC-130 mental dislocator.
Light and rot.
I want to empty my hand because I want a UI, I think. What decks are best against Warrior? So if you want to 3-0 Warrior, you bring Questrogue, Devrattle Hunter, Shadowwalk Shaman, Torwaggle Druid. These 4 decks can reliably free a Warrior, in my opinion. And Warrior is the best deck from the Control lineup. Mund Jame, thank you for subbing! Or Jamie, thank you for subbing. Which deck is more favorable in Kingsbane Rogue against Quest Rogue matchup? Quest Rogue beats Kingsbane.
My thoughts are plagued.
Even Warlock is unbeatable in control matchups.
My thoughts are plagued.
Okay, hot takes. Are there many Death Rattle Hunters in playoffs? There are some, not a great amount. He DC'd. How much can combo lineups be teched against aggro? Not enough, I think. For example, Hunter Ace brought combo lineup, and his deck titles are like "Come at me aggro." I'm pretty sure if he queues into aggro, he's pretty wrecked with the decks that he has. I'm constantly astounded by your patience, Radu. Why? Because I get asked weird questions? I don't know. I did stream in like 5 days, so now I don't get triggered by like any question, no matter how weird it is. But it's a weird metagame that we have, so it's understandable that there's like a lot of doubt on some things. So far in 44 lineups, 22 brought Death Rattle Hunter. Oh, that's a lot. Do you like the current meta? I do. The only thing I don't like about the meta is that it's very similar to the last meta that we had. So I kind of like novelty, because in a new meta, I can be like one of the first guys that figure out the meta, and then I have an advantage. Right now, people kind of know most of the matchups and most of the decks. I don't think there's that many new things to be discovered, so I think we need something to shake things up in like the next month. Like, I have the feeling that the meta is good right now, but it might become like too boring in like 2 months. What lineup do you think will be the best against you? The best against me? Some guy who brought full aggro that includes Odd Poly and Token Druid. But he's gonna be worse against like anti-aggro, so I don't know. And I teched my decks as well as I could to be good against these matchups if somebody brings them. So I'm okay.
Knowledge is power.
Like, if somebody... Like, I don't think any of my decks are gonna play a matchup which is under 40%. Maybe it's too optimistic for me, but that's how I feel about the situation. Would you play the same rogue deck on ladder that you brought to playoffs? I wouldn't play Cobalt's Kelbane on ladder.
None will survive.
Shooting Star Missiles and let's go. I kind of want to keep Shooting Star for Cosmic Anomaly. What percentage did you get with Zoo and Odd Rogue versus Quest Rogue in testing? And did you test against fan backstab lists? I only tested aggro against double backstab and fan lists, yeah. So I tested it against like the worst possible Quest Rogue for me. And we were crushing it like more than 80 with both Zoo and Odd Rogue. And Tempo Mage was more than 90. Like, we felt the matchups were horrendous. We even like tested by mulliganing for like insane Quest Rogue hands. And I lost with like triple Shadow Step. Like, I potted Shadow Step and I lost to Zoo. To like average hand. It was like a disgusting fiesta. I still don't think Quest Rogue lineups are totally gonna get destroyed because not everybody brings Tempo Mage. So then you have 2 bad matchups in Odd Rogue and Zoo and you ban one and you're okay-ish. But Quest Rogue against me should like get super wrecked. Hopefully. Ooh, that's a draw.
We have many secrets.
What about Evolve Shaman? It's unplayable. Evolve Shaman. That's another thing with bringing Odd Paladin and Token Druids. You're way worse against Quezrock lineups. Like, Quezrock can legit just beat you if you bring this type of deck. Is your worst deck the Mali Druid? No. I don't even think we have a worse deck. We have worse decks depending on what matchups we get. Wait, what happens if I pick Entity? Anybody knows? Pro player, by the way. Seriously, what happens if I have Entity and the other one? Do I get a copy and then he loses the copy?
There must be a way.
It doesn't work?
There must be a way.
Then we just take Breath of Sindragosa, I guess. I think this is like the last game I'm gonna play today. I'm gonna answer more questions after. I'm not gonna end the stream instantly. But I wanna chill a bit. Okay. So Runes triggers first because of the order. Okay, okay. So if his minion survives Runes, I get it. If he doesn't, it will trigger on the second minion. I got it, I got it. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if I think about it. I just didn't encounter the situation during testing. Chatting retard you. Yeah, I like talking. And I didn't stream for like 5 days. So now I have all the energy to like keep talking non-stop and like, I wouldn't shut up. Will I see you this year at ACT Worlds? Oh, Jesus. How many times do I have to explain it? Okay, I'll explain it again afterwards. People talk about like qualifying to Hearthstone Worlds is like walking in the park. It's like, are you gonna like are you gonna go for a run? Are you? Like, the same casualty is implied. It's like, yeah, are you gonna get to Worlds? Like, Worlds in Hearthstone is incredibly difficult. I will explain after. Let me finish this game. Let me beat this old rogue, and I will explain. Let's go. Damage or pings? I guess I can freeze this. That's how you play Geyser. Told you, Geyser is Frostbolt. Geyser in playtesting was like very similar to Frostbolt. Like, it blows my mind how the card went under the radar for so much time. Card is great. Card is really great. Okay, so first of all, let me talk about Hearthstone World Championships. I think I calculated in one of the years, but if you use every single opportunity you can to get to Worlds, I don't think you can get more than 10%. So basically, if you do all you can, you still have like 10% to make it to Worlds. Why? Because you have 4 ways of making Worlds. 3 playoffs and last call. Last call is basically number 1 in points. Number 1 in points is very hard in such a stacked region as Europe. And especially if you also are streaming on the side, I don't think you have enough time to prepare and travel to all the tournaments required to even get the points. And then you need to, again, practice intensively for the tournaments if you want to really perform in them. Like, if you're going to a DreamHack with, like, no prep or little prep, you're not going to do that great, usually. So it's hard to get number 1 in points while also streaming, in my opinion. So, realistically, for me, the only way I can get to Worlds is playoffs. So basically, I qualify to playoffs through ladder, mostly. And then I have 3 playoffs. One of them next weekend, by the way. Playoffs is basically 64, between 64 and like 80 players. This time is 80, unfortunately. So 80 players, top 4 out of 80, makes it to championships. Championships is top 4 from every region plus, oh no plus, just wait. No, it's top 4 from every region. And then out of 16, 4 make it to Worlds. So basically, if you have exactly the same chance as every other competitor, you have 5% to make it from playoffs to champs, and 4 out of 16, 25% to make it from champs to Worlds. So 25% out of 5% is 1%. Roughly 2%. So if you have the same chance as every other competitor, and you qualify to playoffs, you basically have 2% with every playoffs to make it to Worlds. So you have, with 3 playoffs, you have 2%, and then if you want to calculate the overall chances, like 2 out of 98, which is very similar to 2, and then 2 again. So let's roughly say 6%. So you have 3 playoffs, roughly 6% to make it to Worlds. Plus the chance you get number 1 in points, which you evaluate that according to, like, if you go for it or not. Then you can give yourself some percentages by bringing very good lineups and preparing a lot and playing better than your opponents. And I feel like in a playoff, even though you have 5% overall, if you do everything as well as you can probably hit like 10%. So I think going into the playoffs, I have close to 10% to make it to championships by bringing very good lineup, preparing a lot, and playing my decks really well, and also knowing how to handle the pressure. So if I have like close to 10%, at championships, I think handling the pressure matters more. So maybe instead of 25, you can get 35. So I don't know, 35 out of 10 is like 3.5, roughly, let's say. I'm just throwing numbers now. I'm just guesstimating. If you have 3.5 for 3 playoffs, that's roughly 10%. So basically, you realistically, as a really good player, have less than 10% to make Worlds in one given year. So asking me, will I go to Worlds is, I don't know. I hope so. I'm trying every year. Until now, I didn't get it. I'm just trying. And maybe one day it will happen. But for example, Europe versus China is 16 players. I have a pretty good chance of winning. I have like a bigger chance of winning Euro versus China than qualifying to Worlds. Funnily enough. And winning Euro versus China is the equivalent of like winning Worlds, kind of, almost. Maybe not prestige, at least outside of China, but value-wise, prize money-wise. So yeah. I'll do my best though. Like, again, I even took like 4 days of streaming so I can prepare for playoffs. I think my lineup is pretty good. I think there's no lineup where I'm grossly unfavored. I feel like at worst I'm like 40, 60 overall, best of 5 lineup wise. I don't feel like I'm gonna insta-win. I don't feel like I'm gonna insta-lose. I think I have good chances. I know my decks. I like my decks. There's no deck that I don't like. You forget to factor in the edge you get from your deck names. Oh yeah. I named my deck Strat 4 because Hoy names his deck Strat 3. I want to be cooler than Hoy. Hoy was naming all his decks for like a lot of time Strat 3 because he wants to scare opponents by making them think that he practiced a lot. I actually practiced a lot for this tournament. I don't think I practiced 3 different strategies. Because like, in Conquest, I don't want to bring a strategy that is very likely to have 0% against some people. And I just felt like there's no good way to make anti-control Quest Rogue strategy that has a good chance against aggro. I just felt you couldn't build Questro to beat aggro pretty much. I just felt you couldn't beat control anti-aggro to 1 anti-aggro successfully and 2 not get completely stomped by Questro lineups and anti-control lineups in a sense. So then the only alternative is aggro, and you either go aggro anti-aggro or aggro overall. And I went aggro overall because it felt too wacky to bring old poly token druidish type of decks. I don't like them. So yeah, I like my lineup quite a bit. What do you think of Azadina in Mario Druid? I don't like it. It's a dead card. Like, you'll have 1 game out of 10 when he like saves you. When you go like ramp into ramp and you like naturalize, and then you Azalina and it's kind of like UI for 7 mana. But you'll have games where it's just miserable, sitting in your hand and doing nothing. If you play Azalina, you might as well play Togwaggle, but where does that help you? It helps you in like heavy duty control matchups like Old Warrior, Control Mage. In most matchups, you realistically don't need that. Is G2 family close? Do you ever chill with other team players, etc. outside of Hearthstone? We sometimes meet at other events, but mostly we are very close with our Hearthstone team, but not really with other games, because G2 is like a super big team and has like so many games. But if we meet other players from G2, they're cool. And the Hearthstone squad, we're practicing for like every single tournament. Like we're really practicing, and we're not just like under the same name. Like we put a lot of time into this tournament. Do you think you will face a lot of warriors? No. I mean, warrior is the only deck that I'm comfortable saying that I'm gonna ban every single time, because it's very obvious. So even if they have warrior, I ban it, and I don't really care. But to my surprise, there's less warriors than I expected. But people figured out probably that it's very easy to free a warrior, so it's like a very risky deck to bring. And I don't think the reward is there. Am I going to DreamHack Montreal? No. I don't want to go to tour stops. To be honest, I would just rather stay home and stream. I don't think the value of going to a tour stop is good enough. There's just too many players, too little prize pool, too much traveling. I just want to like... I don't want to go for that. Like... If I go to a tournament, I really want to practice for it. And I would only really practice for tournaments that I consider worth it. Basically, I'm spoiled because I played too many good Chinese tournaments where you get perfect treatment. Now I really don't want to travel to the other side of the world and play a tour stop, and if I win a 300 player tournament I get $2,000. I don't want to put myself through that. Especially because you compete against people who don't stream and like full time goes to these tournaments and like prepare. It's very hard to prepare as much as they do. But for example, a tournament like Playoff, I think I can beat any grinder that goes to like these tour stops and would crush me at tour stops. Because in this tournament I put as much time as them, maybe more. So basically I want to take the good tournaments. I want to go to Playoffs, I want to go to Europe versus China. If there's like no good tournaments for like 2-3 months, maybe I'll go to a tour stop. Just to like not be rusty tournaments wise, but I really don't want to travel to... And if I go to tour stops, I'll go to Europe. I don't want to travel to like North America. It's too far away. Like, if you think about it, again, let's calculate value. 200 players, prize pool is like 25k. Divide the prize pool by the number of players, you'll find around $70 on average you get as a participant. That's your estimated value. I don't think a flight ticket to Montreal is $70. It's more like $1,000. And yeah, maybe the team can cover it, but like somebody's losing money. Basically, the amount of money that these 200 players spend to go to the event is probably like 20 times, 30 times, 40 times higher than the estimated value of those players. So basically the tournament is offering a 25k prize pool, but all the players together probably spend like 200k to travel to tournament. Like something is not adding up. Something is like wacky. Something is not sustainable. That's why I'm saying like the only sustainable way to do tour stops is online qualifiers into LAN and not direct LAN and have people fly over. Because that's not a sustainable system. Either the players or their teams are gonna go minus. Can you explain why I have a team of players if the game is always 1v1? It's not always 1v1, there's plenty of team tournaments around. I mean, not now, but there were in the past at least, a lot of them. And you need practice groups, and practice groups are not always reliable. Like, you can trust some players and you can grow the trust, but the trust is implied if you're a teammate. Like, when you practice with your teammates, you know they are never gonna talk with outsiders. But even if you have like a very close practice group, maybe some of them will talk with their teammates, or maybe some of them will tell somebody. But when I practice with Tyson and Ria, I know they will not say anything about the strategies that we develop to anybody. And they know that I won't. So that's why it's better to have like a team dynamic. Keep the secrets better. It's kind of like family versus friends. So yeah, guys. Tour stops are good for rising players. No. They're too expensive for rising players to afford to go to them. They're not good for rising players. They're like the qualifier ones are. But I think every tour stop should be qualifier.